Good morning, my lovelies. Welcome to the weekend and another day with Carol. Aren't you lucky? Oh, you poor souls. Okay, so today we are making this. And if I undo the tie, you will see that. Move it down. That bit flips up there. And then if I move it up, this bit flips down. And on the inside I have a pocket, because you can't get by without a pocket. And then on the back side there is a bar across here that I've then added a little notebook to. And that just slides under there. Now you can use magnets if you so wish. I'm not going to in this because I think that the ribbon is enough to hold it in place. But I will show you where you will need to add your magnets, okay? Now, we're going to start off with a file folder. That's how I'm going to make this. Two reasons why. One, it's a long enough piece of card so that when I open it, that's a really vast expanse of card all in one piece, which is what I need to be able to make this. If you don't have a file folder, you can make it as 3 separate pieces that you then join together. I have a feeling that this video might go into 2. And what I'll do is, if it looks as though it's heading that way, in the second video I will show you how to do the individual pieces to attach them together to make it as one long one. Excuse me. If I can get it in one, brilliant. But we both know that the way I prattle on, sometimes it doesn't work that way. Anyway, we'll see how we go. I have drawn you a diagram. So at this point you may want to get a pen and paper. But of course you can pause this and just make notes and stuff. Alright, so this is the diagram that I've drawn. Ignore this one for now. We're going to come to that one later. This is the one that we want to follow for now. And the piece of card needs to measure 5 inches across by 6 inches long. And that's why we need the file folder, is because of this 16-inch length. Now the thickness of the card that you will need will probably need to be round about a 110, 120 GSM. You could get away with a 90 maybe, because what we need to remember is it doesn't need to be so thick that it then pads out the page on the journal. But it doesn't want to be too thin that it's going to be like paper and just it'll end up falling apart. So it needs a little bit of sturdiness about it. So I would say a 110 to 120 GSM is probably about your best bet. Okay. So on this diagram here, I've also mentioned about score lines that you're going to need. So what I want to do is I want to try and be a little bit canny, and I want to use one of these score lines, and it'll be this one. I want to use the fold in the file folder. Right, so what I'm going to do, because obviously we've got, when we fold the file folder up, one side tends to be shorter than the other, so we want to make sure that we've got the fold in the right place. Now if I do it this way on, from point 0 to the first score line is 6.5 inches. The second one is to 13.5 inches, and the end line here will be the 16-inch length. So the first measurement I want to take to the first score line, which is the fold in the file folder, will be 6.5 inches. So once I've got that in place, I can then see that my 16 inches, look at that, look, just fits. It just fits. Now if I turn the file folder around and have the longer part of the file folder on this side, and I do the 6.5 inches this way to the edge to this first score line, That's fine, yeah, that fits in, but this side goes to 15 3/8. Well, that's not long enough, so I've got to make sure that I've got the file folder the right way round for me to be able to do the 16-inch measurement. All right, so I'm just going to mark here. I'm going to place my ruler on the 6.5-inch score line of the file folder, and I'm just going to quickly mark, and I don't need to mark this side, that side there, because it's the very edge of the card. All right, but I know that that's the measurement that I need there. Now the first cut that I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cut it to the width, which is 5 inches. All right, so let me just show you again. So we're 5 inches wide by 16 inches long. So if I cut the width first, and then I'm not dealing with a massive amount of card and all getting in my way, so I'll line that up with 5 inches there. Keep that to one side for now. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this up, because I now need to cut this bit off. So to make sure that it's the right length, from this fold mark here, from the crease mark in the file folder, I'm going to place that on the 6.5-inch mark. And this is one of the things I really don't like about this paper trimmer, because between 6 and 7 inches you've got to do a bit of guesstimating, apply a little bit of logic. So I know that 1/2 inch is 1, 2, 3, 4 notches. 1, 2, don't know where 3 is, I think that's 4. From the 7, if I do it the other way, 7, 1, I think there's 2 in there, there's 3, there's 4. So I'm going to presume that this little notch here is my 4-inch mark. But of course the thing is as well, is that as I slide that up, I can't see it. And I don't want to fold it over because I don't want to trim it by mistake. So I'm going to do that, line it up that way, and then flip that back open. And then we should be about right. And I'm going to keep that bit. So let's just go back to the diagram again. So I have cut my card as a 5-inch wide strip. I've used the crease that's already in the file folder as my first score line of 6.5 inches. So I know that from here, from the edge of the card that I've just cut to that score line is 6.5 inches. The next score line that I need to do is 13.5 inches, and then I know that the full length of this is 16 inches. So I'm going to get my score pal out. Now, my score pal is 12 inches and I need 13.5. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to deduct that from that. So that should be 7, 6, 13, yeah, 7. So if I place this at 0, and then I do a score line at 7, let me just see, 7, 8, 9.5, yes. Ooh, right, fingers crossed. So that should be able to fold in, and that should be able to fold over. Yay! Did it! Now I know that that was probably quite a lot of mathematics to take in. Watch it, the video, that part through quite a few times, and all of a sudden it'll click, and then you'll be able to go and do it. Or watch the video, watch one part, do that one part, then play again, and then do the next part, because sometimes when you try and remember the whole of what I've just done, it becomes too much for your brain to try and take in. So if you do it step by step by step by step, you get there, and then you will have completed it and gone like, I haven't got a clue how I made that, but I've done it. All right, it does get easier. The more times you do these things, it does get easier. But it's not so good if you're not so good at mathematics. Okay, so I've now got my little flip up bit, my little flip down bit. All right, so that works out great. The next thing that I need to do is I need to do what's called matting. And matting is where you cover a flat surface area with another piece of paper. So we need a mat for that bit. We need a mat for that bit. We need a mat for that bit. And for that bit. And for that bit. The only place that we don't need to mat is that bit, because that's the bit that's going to be stuck to our page. Right, so we don't need to do anything with that back area, but we do need to mat each of these other sections. Now, whether you're using the digital kit, whether you're using the magazine, whether you're doing something completely different and using your paper packs or anything like that, that is entirely up to you. On the original one that I did, I covered it all in coffee dyed, my lace coffee dyed paper, because I wanted something that was fairly neutral. And then I decorated up the inside with the magazine sections. What you need to remember is, because it's a specific size, is you need to really look carefully at the magazine bit to see if it looks suitable, because you might find that it's either too big or too small, and it needs to look right. Okay, so again, going back to my diagram, I've written down on this side, so you can ignore that bit now. So I've written down on this side some other stuff, but I'm going to take a slurp of my brew. I find that if I talk for too long, my voice starts to go again. So I just need to keep my throat lubricated. So I've written here what size mats you need to do. All right. Now what we're going to do is we're going to cut the pieces slightly smaller than the actual flat area that we're going to cover, because then it will help to create a little bit of a border going around the edge of the paper. All right. So the first mat, this area is 5 inch by 2.5 inch. 5 inch by 2.5 inch, and we're going to cut a mat that measures 4.5 inch by 2 inch. The next bit, which is this bit here, which is that bit there, is 5 inch by 7 inch, and we need to cut a mat to 4.5 inch by 6.5 inch. Sorry, I've just done that wrong, haven't I? That bit is that middle bit. This bit is this bottom bit, both the inside and the outside, which is 5 inch by 6.5 inch, and we're going to cut the mat to 4.5 by 6. So each time I'm measuring that whole surface area, and then I'm taking 1/2 inch off that measurement. So let's go through it again. So this area here measures 5 inch by 2.5 inch. If I take 1/2 inch off each of those measurements, it comes to 4.5 by 2. So that's the size that we're going to cut the mat for this side and this side. Moving on up, moving on up, moving on. Yeah, right. Next bit, trying to be professional, Carol, is this bit here, which is this bit here. Now remember, we're not doing the back side of this bit, so you only need a piece for that. So this area measures 5 inch by 7 inch, and we're going to cut the mat to 4.5 inch by 6.5 inch. Moving on up again, the very end flap is this bit here. The surface area measures 5 inch by 6.5 inch, and you're going to cut the mat to 4.5 by 6 inch, and you need a piece for there and a piece for there. Got that so far? With me so far? Okay, I'm going to leave it there for now. It's at 15 minutes. I think that's enough to frazzle your brain for so far. I'm going to do the second video. And in the second video, I'm going to show you how to do these as individual pieces and stick them together, which some of you may find easier if you're not very good on the mathematics part of things. You might just find it a lot easier to figure out. But as I say, whenever you're learning something new, watch the whole thing. It might not all sink in. It might not all mean something to you. Then watch it step by step by step. Do each step by step by step, and again, it might not collectively make any sense to you, but eventually it will click, and it will click into place as to what it is that you've just done. And you'll find as well that the more times that you make these things as well, it makes more sense the more times you do it. And eventually you'll go, oh yeah, dink, 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 dink. Know it, sorted. All right. So go off and have a go at that little bit. As I say, in the next video, I'm going to show you how to do these as 3 individual pieces and sticking them together. All right. Make a note. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Okay, I've been silly enough. I'm off. I'll see you in the next video. And make sure you come and watch, because the amount of people that never come and watch the second video, you're very naughty. You're a naughty person. Because you'll be surprised what's in the second video. I might do a giveaway. You never know. I'm not gonna, but I might. Bye.